Tell me a little bit about your childhood.
Okay, my last name Arai mean
Uh-huh.
wild. My Taro mean first son. So I was
Wild for son.
for that's my dad named me, and then I was in trouble everywhere I go,
Mm.
and I don't know, I was too unique. I had a reverse mohawk, not mohawk, but just shave the middle. And in Japan,
Like a landing
oh,
strip?
it's pretty ugly, but my teacher didn't like it,
That's a
so used a
statement.
Sharpie to paint my bald spot. Anything I did, I got in trouble in Japan.
Do you think you got in trouble because you're like a troublemaker or just because you're very eclectic and authentic? What do you think that was? Were you trying to get in
Interesting, but
trouble?
without it, I'm not here. So I'm thanking God for that too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to be different than others. I just couldn't follow. I don't know rules. I guess. Yeah, I mean, people are really nice there, but they have to follow the rule, which maybe I should have learned.
Well, maybe not. We might not have Mikuni in the creative brain that can come up
Exactly.
with things like
Yeah.
that. What do you think was the most notable experience as a kid that shaped who you are today?
Well, coming to America opened my eyes. Different culture, different. I mean, everything was different. We all talk about, in Japan is be respectful, be polite. And then I went to Johnson High School, which is kind of South area, kind of hood.
Okay. A little ghetto.
I mean, first thing I heard was, "What's up?" I said, "Oh, what's
What?
what's up there? I can see it's only sky." I mean, English was one of the hardest thing for me, and I didn't speak English. I didn't have any friends or money. So somebody say, if you don't get it, just say no problem. So I kept saying that, who's your favorite teacher? No problem. Where are you going? No problem. So they start calling me Mr. No Problem. And that's the attitude I had. You know what? I'm here. I just take it as no problem. Just do whatever I can. That's all I was thinking about it. Yeah, because I wasn't smart. I had no talent, but just keep smiling and keep telling myself, no problem.
So what was the biggest culture shock coming to America?
I mean, there's so many. I don't know where to start from. For example, I'm from countryside. If somebody asks me, would you like a Coke? I have to say, oh, no, thank you, as a respect. And they have to ask me again, are you sure you don't want it? And then I have to say, no, I'm good. And you have to ask again, would you like a Coke? I say, okay, if you insist, I'll take it.
Oh,
That's how I
wow.
grew up. And then I came here, I was thirsty, middle of the summer. One of the, friend's mom said, would you like a Coke? Oh, no, thank you. And she closed the door of the refrigerator. I'm thirsty, I'm dying. I got to change this. I said, yes, please, thank you very much.
Right?
So different cultures. So I wanted to adjust as soon as possible so I don't miss out.
Yeah. How quickly after you guys got over here did you open Mikuni in
So
Fair
two
Oaks?
years, I did a newspaper route with my brother, collecting cans and cardboards and sell futons. And my mom and sister did housework. We did everything we can. We moved 10 times first year and a half, like looking for a cheaper rent and stuff. I don't want a suitcase. It wasn't that hard. But then my dad woke up one morning. He said, hey, I had a dream. We're opening a restaurant together. That's my dad never cooked in his life. He never had a business. He had no business concept, business plan. Until today, he doesn't know how to use a microwave. And he's telling me we're opening a restaurant together. I
After
said,
one dream, one night?
one dream, one morning,
Holy.
he just told us we're going to pray about it. I said, Dad, we don't even have the money to. How can you even imagine? I said, hey, God gave me a vision. It'll happen.
That's
What happened.
incredible.
That's it, back in 87. But then he said, we pray about it. And to make it short, we met the Japanese guy. We don't even know who he was. And exchanged the phone number. And then he sent us $300,000 to a bank account. We had $2,000. So
Where did you meet him?
originally we met him on the street. In Roseville, actually. That's why I moved to. Okay, so he was buying old houses. So we asked him, if you have a house, if we can rent it, that'd be great, because we're looking for a house. And then back then it was about $1,500 to rent the house. I still remember, I drive by it all the time. He said, how about $750? I give you half off. I said, oh, great.
Sure.
I don't know how many people lived in there. Me, my cousin, altogether about 10 people lived in the house, little house. And yeah, he told my dad, "What are you doing?" And we share the ideas, and he decided to send us $300,000.
So what did your dad say after he had the vision? Like you guys were probably like, we don't know how to cook, we don't have money. Did he just say, hey, we just wait and the right things will come to us?
Yeah, he said miracle does happen, with God. And so, I mean, location is important. He didn't know where to open. We live in South area first, and goes to Roseville where no Asian people back then. I was one of 3 Asian kid in the whole school back then. And he opened the map. He's a runner. He said, hey, there's a dam out there. I want to run around the dam. So we picked Fair Oaks. That's how he decided. He has no idea where to open. And no Go River, Folsom back then. It was kind of no Asian population.
Right.
There.
No, they're not.
And of course, I'm the Mr. No Problem. I had no idea how much everything worth. So they said, hey, this hood is $50,000. I have no idea. Okay, no problem. So within 6 months, we ran out of money. And we called that guy, sorry, we lost all your money. And he said, well, let me send you another 100,000. He did. And we ran out again.
Did he say why? Did he?
No, he think he was a good investment, I think.
There's got to be more.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
get
he
it.
had a similar vision. I don't know. Maybe.
No, I will never give to a pastor who never done business, never can
That's true.
cook to that kind of money. And yeah, we lost all our money. And more we worked, feels like we lost our money. Our goal was to raise $300 sales a day. That was our goal. We couldn't reach most of the time. So after 6 months of not paying rent, lease, they kick us out. They try to, and then no vendor to work with, no bank to work with. So I said, Dad, here I am. I was turning 21. We hit the wall. And then I love basketball, broke my ankle, cut my hand wide open. I was taping everywhere because I didn't have money to go to the doctor.
During basketball, you cut your?
No, sharpening my knife.
Oh,
I mean, working like 7 a.m. to midnight every day. No day off. Sunday, my dad, have a little message. If you listen to it, you get a free food. So we have to cook for the church member too, for a church member. So we didn't have any day off. So we're so tired every moment. And I cut my hand wide open. And I was having it also because I had so much stress because we're the only sushi bar in the whole world. Didn't have any fish to sell because we couldn't afford it.
What did you sell?
Nothing. Like avocado, cucumber roll, whatever we had. And we didn't have many customers anyway. Mm-hmm. And then my dad is kind of perfectionist. If 4 people came and ordered 4 sukiyaki, he has to make one by one. By the time he goes to the third one, they're gone. They say, I can't wait. So we didn't know how to run a business.
Oh my gosh.
So I told my dad, I think it was not a dream. It was a nightmare. Why don't we all pack everything up and go back to Japan? I begged him. I cried at him because we had no future, it seems like. And my dad kept saying, hey, let's enjoy sufferings, and suffering bring patient to good character to hope. And then God will not disappoint. And he said, just dig deeper. I said, how deep we have to dig ourselves in? Look at all this building. Deeper the foundation. God can build something amazing upon. And he kept saying,
that's serious faith.
So I couldn't doubt his faith because Saturday night, after work, midnight, whenever I stopped by in his room, 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it doesn't matter. He's always awake, never slept even a second to prepare for the church sermon.
Wow.
They had a living faith. Did
you ever have doubts about that faith?
Me?
It was a nightmare.
Oh, we had so many, not fight, but heated discussion. He fired me, I don't know how many times. But I told my dad, you can't do without me. But he said, no, if you don't like it, if you don't believe it, just quit and get out of here. He's very hardcore Japanese father. So we crashed a lot. That's
incredible.
But seeing his faith, and also let's say, he came to my high school one time in his life. I said, wow, you care about me? He said, no, I just have to borrow money for vegetables. I said, okay, I have some. And he was getting $450 pay from church every month, and then he was giving $500, borrowing money from me. I said, Dad, that's not 10%, that's more than 100%.
Wow.
How could you do that? My dad said, hey, there's no business closed because of too much offering. I said, nobody's that stupid. Come on, Dad. And he said, I made a deal with God. I just have to bring it up the percentage of my offering. God promised me that God will bless our restaurant. I said, wow.
What was the turning point? When was it obvious, like, oh my gosh, we're getting blessed?
So when my dad was very strict. So he said, no sex before marriage, right?
Uh-huh. Sure.
So I called my girlfriend in Japan, you have to move here right now.
We have to get married.
I can't wait anymore. We rode each other for 7 years. I knew who she was, and she knew who I was. So I told her, come now. And as soon as she come, I gave her a ring, boom, 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 4 kids in 5 years.
There
right?
you go.
So when I had a second baby, my dad woke up one morning again. He said, I had a dream. I said, no.
Oh, no. No.
I don't think I want to hear this. He said, I'm going to name your daughter Chio, mean 1,000 sheep. I said, why do that to my daughter? Well, God gave me a vision dream that we'll have 1,000 customers a day. There's no way. 30 people can't fit in a little restaurant. He's telling me we're going to have 1,000. Then I said, you know what? We'll see. And then yoga shop closed down, video store closed down, haircut closed down. We asked donut shop to move to the other side. We're serving 1,000 customers on weekends.
Wow.
Yeah. So my dad said,
What year was
believe
that?
in miracles. So late, like 90s, start going boom, 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 boom. Like 96, 7, 8. We had about a couple hour wait, hours wait in the weekends now. And then my dad said, let's move forward with God's plan. So 99, 2003, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 15, 16, we opened new restaurants. And family of 5 grew to 1,000 employees, over 1,000. From no fish, we use 52 tons of seafood every month. Thank God for the big ocean, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think we did about 75 or 80 million dollars in sales last year.
Congratulations.
More importantly, my dad always said, give back to the community, give back to God, and be humble. That's 3 things he told me over and over: be humble, be humble.
Yeah, you guys
I'll
have,
never forget that. Yeah.
well, it shows. He ingrained that into you, and you are a very humble man. Even out there, when I was trying to compliment you, the way you handled
No,
it was
because-
a lot of grace.
More you know about me, I have no talent. It's amazing. I don't know how I got here other than God's favor and the community that we have.
You've raised over $3 million for the local community in charities. What do you think the importance of giving back is?
Well, for me, of course, without our community, we're not here. And I love sports. So we did a basketball tournament, tried to raise for church first, because we had a little church. We had 3 members. It's, first generation people. And then it's hard to raise money with basketball, tennis, ping pong. We did every sports. And somebody suggested, why not golf? I said, well, I never touched the golf club ever. He said, just do it anyway. So I said, all right, we're having a golf tournament. 50 people showed up. And we raised $500. And then I didn't know how to play. I just hacked around and people laughed at me and raised money. I said, this is the easiest thing. Just get laughed at. So we said, let's do it again next year. And then we raised like $12,000. What? And then 50,000, 100,000. And last year we did about 300, whatever, $20,000. So that's why we raised $3.5 million just through the golf tournament.
That's getting laughed at.
I mean, getting laughed at. And then, the thing is, again, I didn't do much. We just have a golf tournament and our community get together to do amazing things. For example, like, have you heard about rescue rolls?
Mm-mm.
We had a tsunami in Japan in 2011. It was very personal to me. So we created a roll called rescue rolls. Why not we sell these rolls and send 100% of the proceeds goes to Japan? I know, people don't have any family members there, but people in Sacramento, it's just amazing. We raised $180,000 from that roll. So since then, like Houston was flooded, I said, you know what, we do 1 week for Houston, 50,000. Cat Fire, even first day we raised 26,000. by the time we get to Paradise Fire, people already knew about it, so they call me, hey, are we doing it? I said, yes, we're going to do 1 week. We don't want to close the restaurant, but $75,000 were raised. And recently, Maui Fire, in 2 weeks, we raised another $100,000 too. So everything we do, we could have done it without God or without people in this community. They're the one driving us to do amazing things.
So you want to give back. I love that.
You have to.
Yeah, I agree. You've come up with 300 unique roles, right? Can you talk about your creative process?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna embarrass myself again.
Go for it.
Because I didn't have any, how do you say, a training or nothing. One day my dad said, all right, we're gonna build a sushi bar. Without permit, my uncle came and built a sushi bar. I said, who's gonna make sushi anyway? My dad said, who else? I said, okay, let me get a book. I had a lot of books like Sushi for Dummies and all this stuff, and my sushi was horrible because we had no idea how to make it. The only thing is, people came in, they said, back then nobody was eating sushi. One guy said, I like hot dogs. I hate sushi. I said, okay, no problem. I go liquor store 2 doors down, get a hot dog. I made a hot dog roll for him, served with ketchup and mustard. One guy came in, I like hamburger. No problem. I made a hamburger,
Really?
put a little miso in it, miso happy burger roll. That was pretty good. And Marilyn, one of the customers said, it's my birthday. Can you make me a special roll? Okay. Marilyn Monroe.
Huh.
And then Johnny, he was a dentist. He was crazy. He said, I was spicy and sweet all together. So we made a spicy Johnny roll for him. So I just keep creating whatever customer wants to eat. Next time, I know they're bringing their family, their friends to show off their own rolls. And next time I know we have 300 rolls.
That's another way of giving back. So you're giving to the community with beautiful roles and obviously finances, and then they're gifting you the ideas.
Meanwhile, our chefs, as we grow, we have 200 chefs now, but they said we can't memorize all 300 rolls. So we had to really cut down to, a small menu. But
How many do you offer total?
I don't know, about 60, 70, I think. The other day, one customer said, I want every roll on the menu. That's why I heard 64 or 5 or something like that.
Well, I appreciate your how outspoken you are about your faith. Can you talk about a situation or a time where you prayed or you saw a direct miracle from God, or evidence where a situation that showed you, my faith is real, I can rely on it, God is real, that's not arguable for me? Do you have a story like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'd
too
love to
many.
hear
I don't know
one.
where to start. But for example, like when I was struggling, my dad said one thing was, it's not about what you know, but who you know. Because I was going Sac State, my dad asked me to quit school. I said, Asian parents never ask your kids to quit school, right? But I wasn't that smart anyway. And then he said, it's about who you know. I said, okay, I have to know Jesus to go to heaven. I have to know right people. So I started talking to every customer. That's when I said, you know what? I'm going to just introduce myself with my broken English. I don't care. And they helped us so much. And then second thing was, do your best and let God do the rest. It's keep, in me right now, because my best might not be good, but that's what I can do. And the rest of it, it's all up to him.
The results.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it doesn't work out, I'm going to blame God.
Huh.
He's capable of everything. So that's how I keep it going back then. And then everything was going so smooth, 2006, 7. So I don't know. I told my dad to retire and everything was fine. I told my dad, is it okay to have a partner? He kept telling me no, but I wasn't listening. Hey, you retired. Let me move on with my plan, right? And then 2008, we spent $3.5 million, beautiful restaurant in Denver. And the economy crashed. 8, 9, 10. We lost $500,000 a year. And then my goal was to spend time with my kids. They're playing basketball, football, golf. Here I am in Denver. I said, losing money, I don't get to see my kids play. Is it worth it? And next time I know, we were down $11 million in debt, right?
Oh.
So, yeah, everybody said it's time to file the bankruptcy. So I told my dad, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I thought building, I thought fame, all these things will just keep carrying us to the next level. End up being broke. So we asked our team to cut down 40% of their pay. And a lot of people left. And then, yeah, we tried to sell everything we have, but we didn't have many things to sell. And I told my dad, I'm sorry. And then what do we do? He said, you know what? Just remember, start digging again. Keep digging. I said, again, he said, yeah, it's God's plan. He'll finish it. Just believe in God. So that's the time I said, you know what? I asked my brother-in-law to become our CEO, my brother to become our CCC, which is a chief creative chef. And then we learned the word Kaizen. Do you know what Kaizen mean?
I do, but I want to hear from someone who practices it. It's basically getting incrementally better. Like every time you do a task, you try to get better at that task, right?
Continuous improvement, change for the better.
Ah,
So we decided, hey, let's change whole attitude toward work, how to run it, back to basic, back to God, get back to people. It's not about building. Let's do it all over again. So we start brand new way. We have a MIKUNI core values: motivate ourselves to do our best, I for inspire others, K for Kaizen ourselves in every way, U for united, Miku united. Mikuni means kingdom of God. United means one. So under God, we're one human race. We should love each other and help each other. And N for never stop dreaming. And then I, last one, increase God's love, increase love. So our mission statement is to be the most loving and loved company in the world. We don't have to make the best sushi, or we don't have to have an amazing building. It's about we love God, we love people, and we want to be loved by them. So we changed whole attitude toward work and business.
and did that get back to a more customer-centric,
Oh,
like
yeah.
loving the customer?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
In 2011, we opened the restaurant called Kaizen. And then after that, we paid off all the debt and opened the Folsom store. Along the way, I made so many mistakes, but every time I make mistakes and I don't know, confess myself to God what I did wrong, and He used that to get to our next level. Like, I think Denver was the hardest lesson yet, best lesson we had. Because of Denver, we know how to make money now. Yeah, we learned so much from the Denver store.
Yeah.
So that's
It worked out.
one of many stories. That's why I carry
Yeah.
around. This is a Denver coin. And, keep reminding myself
cool.
to be humble and purpose. That's our logo. You can keep it. Purpose
Thank
and
you.
praise. That's our logo means.
So your title is
Yes.
Chief Dream Officer.
Yes.
What are you dreaming up next?
Oh, I mean, dreaming is free, so why not dream big,
Sure.
right? I have so many dreams. I don't know. For business, my CEO is crying, but 50, 50, 50. Why not 50 businesses by 50th anniversary of Mikuni with 50 family members? I mean, God can do whatever, He wants, but it's okay to dream. So I have dreams in every way. So that's part of one of the business dreams.
How do you know what God's guidance is? So when you pray or you say, hey, God told us to do this, God told us to do that, how does He communicate to you?
So in the past, I depend on my dad because very spiritual. He's close to God. Now he has Alzheimer. He's in the care home. I mean, he's the best golfer around. You know why? He hits 4 in the water. By the time he gets to the green, he's putting for birdie because he forgets everything. He's the best golfer. He never lied. He suddenly started lying. I said, what happened here? I didn't know he had Alzheimer. But now he's at care home. I see him every week. I take him out. Yesterday, he was praying for a sick patient out there. And every Sunday, he preaches to those care home patients. He says, same thing, but for them, it's a new story every Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's working out very well.
That's
But,
awesome.
yeah, my dad didn't have to say much. He showed with his action. So whenever I have a question, what do you think about this? And then, well, what the Bible said about this.
Yeah, okay.
It goes straight to the Bible.
Huh.
Yeah.
applying that though. So okay, we're out of money. Like we have this vision, and I'm not grilling you. I'm genuinely curious. How do you keep your faith?
Like, we came from nothing. So if God takes everything that we have, that's where we began. So I
You
don't
say that.
dwell in earthly thing too much. I always say life is great, but eternity is better. So our focus is eternity. That's why what my dad is going through is nothing to us. We're so happy for him. He did amazing till now. His face is there, so he's gonna be in heaven anyway. So like my mom too, she's very happy right now. She's the happiest woman. Well, she doesn't have to cook for him every day anymore. We take her out every week. Yeah, our focus is different than just this world. So all the suffering, it doesn't seem like suffering to us. It's more of an opportunity to learn something, or what God teaches us, we can see.
I
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know where to go from here, but
Yeah, no, I that answered the question. Do you have any input or advice for young men in their 20s that want to become entrepreneurs?
well, I'm the best example, right? I mean, I don't have anything to show. Like, for example, I had a Japanese business magazine came to interview me. Which school did you graduate? I said, well, Mikuni University.
Right. My school.
Yeah. And they said, all right, what did you major in anyway? I said, well, I teach sociology class, so I'll say sociology, right? They had about, I don't know, 10, 20 questions. I couldn't answer even one of them. I didn't have anything that, oh yeah, I'm good at numbers, or I'm good at this, that, nothing. And then I thought to myself, oh, God, why you didn't give me anything? But because of that, I get to trust 100% to God. At the same time, I can't be proud of myself. And I learned one thing is delegation, delegation.
Okay.
I used to have 26 keys. That was a record for this restaurant door key, back key,
Yeah, yeah.
roof key, all this alarm key. I said, wow, I have so many smart people around me. God provide the best team out there. So, okay, why don't you have key? You're good at night. If alarm company call you, good luck. You're a morning person. Can you open the door for me? I start giving away. I have no key.
So you built a team essentially, and you asked for help. So maybe don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, I'm not a control freak because
Yeah.
I know my capability,
Yeah.
ability. So yes, I think my thing was God gave everybody different, unique, talent, and then purpose too. You just have to figure out what, like for me, definition of success is to do God's will. So you just have to find it. So last 2 months, my encouragement video is all about purpose. I'm asking every chef on eval, what is your life purpose? And then I want them to think about it and pray about it, and then come up with something that motivate you, be passionate about you. And then all these small, or I shouldn't say small, but a lot of obstacles become smaller because you have the goal, higher goal, the purpose that you can live.
What is your life purpose?
It's too many. Like I have goals every year too. Like one time Kaizen, right?
Yes.
I told my kids, you have to do this, 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 this. I was preaching them. And then I'd thought to myself, maybe I should ask them, how can I be a better father? Wow, that was the wrong question. They kept writing.
They wrote a book.
Oh, yeah. I asked my younger son, I said, hey, can I start with one? Tell me one. He said, why don't you follow your own advice? I said, ooh, like what? Well, you said don't text and drive. I see you doing it. I said, well, I'm very special.
Yeah. That rule's just for you.
No, I said, I'm sorry. Maybe I should show with my actions. So since then, I want to show with my action and set the goal so I can achieve it. So I asked my wife too, how can I be a better human? She said, well, you talk a lot. I love, sharing. She said, why don't you just think before you speak? I said, that's so rude. T-H-I-N-K. T is it true, H is it helpful, I is inspiring, N is necessary, K is kind. If not, don't say it. Whole year that year, I couldn't even talk anymore. Every time I think, should I said this to this guy? No, that's not necessary. So following year, I told my wife, hey, it's not fair that I'm the only one talking. Why don't you talk alone? You know? She said, well, if you ever learn how to listen. So that year, my goal was to be a better listener. It was not easy for me, but I learned how to listen so I can listen to learn. That was a great lesson. And then 2 years ago was be a humble servant. So how can I show my love to everyone? So I asked my wife. She said, you can pick up the dog poop every morning. That's what I do for her. If that makes her happy, I'll do it. And neighbor, I pick up the garbage once a week. And for my team, I do the encouragement video every month. Last year, my goal was to giving while living cheerfully. So my time, my gift, little gift, I want to use for charity. And also money too. I told one of my sons, he's a financial advisor, here's the money I want to give. And then I want to raise 5% every year for the next 5 years. It's weird. More I give, the account grew.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
It's
anyway.
interesting the way that works.
Yeah. And then this year, my goal is to walking wisely daily. I'm one step away from stupid. I can destroy my family like that. One mistake. So every morning I wake up, I read that, walking wisely daily. How can I do that? I mean, there's so many things you can do. Hang out with the right friends, wise friends. That would start too. But that's what I do this year. I already have a next year's goal too. Do everything in love. Everything. Not just few things.
What do you mean by that?
Anything I
love
do.
that.
Everything I do. That's what the Bible verse came up to me about last week. I was praying about it. What's next year's goal? And then the Bible verse, I have to see. I haven't wrote it down yet, but that came up to me and God spoke to me. Hey, do everything in love. Because I can do just to looks good or something like that too, right? But I want to do it from my heart.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a great year.
But I'll quit something every year to make sure I'm not addicted to anything.
Okay.
I quit coffee for 1 year. Last year was no alcohol for 1 year. It was not easy for me because I host so many parties and I do a lot of private parties. And this year is no shopping. So I haven't bought any shoes, clothes, nothing this year yet.
Wow. Good for you. I love this.
I wanna
Always
make sure,
growing.
you know, I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What kind of things are you passionate about outside of sushi?
Outside of sushi, I'm all about, I don't know, family, people. I just love people. So I want to be around people. I want to, like I said, I don't deserve to be where I am at. So I'm going to keep giving back as much as I can. And I just want to spread my joy to everyone I meet.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I felt it when you walked up the pathway. It's just this energy of good.
Yeah, I don't know
coming
what
off.
to do with myself if I don't. It feels like I'm going to blow up if I don't share. It's weird. The more I share my joy, somehow it gets filled even more from inside. People say, your glass is always half full. They have no idea. I have a bucket and overflowing 24/7. That's how I feel like every day.
Do you have a daily practice to induce those kind of feelings, like prayer, gratitude?
I mean, I wake up, first thing I do is I want to thank God for everything that I have because, you know, I was born naked and everything I have is all rental. I can't take them with me. So I want to thank God for everything that I have, and I always ask God, how can I be useful for him?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a comment. Show these guests some support. What part impacted you the most so we can make them feel really good? These are real stories and raw emotions. Thank you.